जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद। जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद। जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद।
जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद।
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोहे, तुम बिना के दयालु जगत संसारे।
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोहे, तुम बिना के दयालु जगत संसारे।
पतिता पवना है तो तवावतारा, मुसमपतित प्रभु न पाई बेहारा।
पतिता पावन है तो
तवावतारा, मुसमपतित प्रभु न पाई बेहारा। आह प्रभु नित्यानंद प्रेमानंद सुखी, कृपा बोलो कर्ण करो आमी बड़ो दुखी। दया करो सीतापति अद्वैत गोसाई, तव कृपा बोली पाई चैतन्य निताई। स्वरूप सनातन रूप रघुनाथ, भटयुग श्रीजीव प्रभु लोकनाथ। दया करो श्री आचार्य प्रभु श्रीनिवास, रामचंद्र संग मांगे नरोत्तम दासा। प्रभु श्रीनिवास दया करो मोहे, तुम बिना के दयालु जगत संसारे।
कृष्ण दया करो मोरे, तुम बिना के दयालु जगत संसारे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा
हरे हरे, हरे राम
राम राम हरे।
जय गौरानिताय पतित पावन गौरानिताय जय।
पतित पावन गौर
जय पंचतत्व पतित पावन पंचतत्व जय।
पतित पावन
जय कृष्ण बलराम जय, कृष्ण बलराम जय। जय ललिता विशाखा जय राधे श्याम, ललिता विशाखा जय राधे श्याम जय। निताई गौर हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल। जय जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद।
जय गौर प्रेमानंदे। श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये, कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते, कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामनि गौरात्वेषे नमः। नित्यानंदं नमस्तुभ्यं परमानंददायिने, कलिकल्मष विनाशाय जहानवापतये नमः वागेश्वरी यस्य वदने लक्ष्मी यस्यश्च वक्षसे यस्यासि हृदय संवेद तम नरसिंहम अहम भजे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जयो जयो श्री चैतन्य जयो नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। You are all welcome at Sri Krishna Balaram Temple, ISKCON, Vrindavan for morning Monday Chaitanya Charitamrita class. We are reading from Ādi-līlā, chapter 5, and this chapter is describing the glories of Nityananda Ram. So we are today discussing verse number 41, and this verse has almost over 10 pages purport, the longest purport. Nityananda and Balaram are same, and original personality of Godhead Sri Krishna from right side expand as Balaram and from left side expand as Radharani. So from right side from Balaram there is a first quadruple or Chaturvyu. The first quadruple Vasudeva, Sankrishna, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. And from the Sankrishna of the first Chaturvyu, there is second Chaturvyu, which is in Dwarka and in Vaikuntha. And that Chaturvyu is also Vasudeva. Around the four side of Narayan, there is Vasudeva, Sankrishna, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. So the verse today is second Chaturvyu. It means in Dwarka, if we say Dwarka, then in Dwarka Krishna is Vasudeva, Balaram is Mahasankrishna, Pradyumna is son of Rukmani and Krishna, and Aniruddha is son of Pradyumna. So these four are in Dwarka. Now the whole discussion of 10 pages is on one point only, that all four expansion, a quadruple, they are all Vishnu Tattva. They are all Vishuddha Sattva. They are not connected with any modes of material nature. This is the whole theme of the purport. But because on certain verses of Vedanta Sutra, Sripad Shankaracharya, who is Lord Shiva, appearing in a Kali Yuga to bewilder the monoists or the Advaitavadis, he has commented on this Chaturvyu. Vasudeva is Narayan, but the other are expansion which are material, like cause and effect. So to refute this Sarirak Bhasha of Sripad Shankaracharya, Srila Prabhupada has quoted Sri Rupa Goswami and other scriptures just to establish that Chaturvyu is all transcendental. So this is the verse. Vasudeva Sankrashana Pardyumna Noridha Dvaita Chatravyo Eiturya Vishuddha Vasudeva Sankrashana Pardyumna Noridha Dvaita Chatravyo Eiturya Vishuddha Vasudeva Sankrashana Pradyumna Niruddha Dvaita Chatravyo Eiturya Vishuddha. Please repeat. Vasudeva Sankrashna Pradyumna Niruddha Dvaita Chaturvyoha Eiturya Vishuddha Vasudeva Sankrashna Pradyumna Niruddha Dvaita Chatravyo Eiturya Vishuddha Vasudeva Sankrashna Pradyumna Niruddha Dvaita Chatravyo Eiturya Vishuddha. Mataji. Vasudeva Sankrashna Pradyumna Niruddha Dvaita Chatravyo Eiturya Vishuddha. Now, the four words are self-explanatory. Vasudeva Sankrashna Pradyumna Niruddha. Dvitiya means secondary, Chaturvyu means quadruple, and Turya means fourth stage. So three are the three modes of material nature: goodness, passion and ignorance. And Turya is beyond these three modes, which is Vishuddha Sattva. So Turya means fourth. Turya is fourth stage, which means pure goodness. And Vishuddha means, Srila Prabhupada writes, Vishuddha means free from all material contaminations. So all material contamination means three modes of material nature. So these four secondary expansion are free from material influence of material modes of material nature. They are free. Vishuddha Sattva. Turya means beyond three modes of material. Now, Srila Prabhupada started the purport with Shripad Shankaracharya, with all respect. Shripad Shankaracharya has misleadingly explained the quadruple form Chaturvyu in the interpretation of the 42nd aphorism of chapter 2 of the second Khand of Vedanta Sutra. And what is that? Utpatya. Utpatya means creation. And Asambhavat, possible. How the creation is possible? So creation is of what? Creation of material world. Because the spiritual world is not created, it is always existing. So when the word creation comes, it means material world. So material world is created by second Chaturvyu. But second Chaturvyu is not affected by the material world. This is the only difference. The whole purport is just focus on that. Though the whole creation takes place through three Vishnus, Karunadakshai, Garbhodakshai and Kshirodakshai. And they are expansion of second Sankarshan of this Chaturvyu. And all these three Vishnus are transcendental. They are Purusha avatar. They have no influence of three modes of material nature. So now Srila Prabhupada writes, now to refute this statement of Sripad Shankaracharya in verse 41, this verse, and continues till 47, upcoming 6 more verses. Of this chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami answers Sripad Shankaracharya's misleading objection to the personal features of the Absolute Truth. Personal features of the Absolute Truth. It means all these 4 expansions are persons. And these persons are Absolute Truth. Now, Srila Prabhupada writes, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is not like a material object that can be known by experimental knowledge or sense perception. So, experimental knowledge means use of senses and mind. And sense perception is again interpretations. So, spiritual world cannot, where the mind ends, the spiritual world starts. So by the mental speculation, which is knowledge, and the sense perception, the Absolute Truth cannot be understood. Then how it can be understood? By descending process, through parampara, through the Vedic literature or Shruti. So Absolute Truth cannot be understood by ascending process. Ascending process means senses and mind. So senses and mind cannot understand which is beyond senses and mind. And spirit is beyond senses and mind. It can be only understood from descending process through the Vedic literature. So Srila Prabhupada writes, now Srila Prabhupada quote Narada Pancharatra. What is this Narada Pancharatra? Lord Vishnu directly spoke, Lord Narayan directly spoke this Vaishnava Tantra to Devrishi Narada. It's called Narada Pancharatra. Panch means 5, Ratra means night. And in that Narada Pancharatra, Lord Narayan speaks. Srila Prabhupada writes, Lord Narayan himself explains. This fact has been explained by Narayan himself to Lord Shiva. But the Shankaracharya, the incarnation of Lord Shiva, under the order of Narayan, this is in Padma Purana. Lord Shiva tells to the Parvati that I have to appear in Kali Yuga and I have to now, before I say this word, I have to, in Kali Yuga, by the beginning of the Kali Yuga, the use of the Vedic literature was simply Karma Kand and the animal sacrifice and Yajna. So it went to minus. Therefore Buddha came, Lord Buddha came. He brought it to 0, Sunyavad. So from negative to 0, Buddha brought it, which means Sunyavad. It means simply you have to follow the non-violence, and there is, if even Veda says something, we don't believe. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami says, we accept Buddha as an incarnation, but we don't accept his philosophy, because it is against the Vedic literature. So Buddha brought this to 0. Now from 0 to positive side, 1. Shankaracharya came to bring the philosophy from 0 to 1. Advaitavad, Advait means 1. So minus 0 plus 1. And then came Madhvacharya, he brought it to 2. The soul and the super soul. Then came Ramanujacharya and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He brought it to 1 and many. So in this way, there is an evolution of the philosophy from negative to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 1, Nitya Nityanam Chetas Chetanam, 1, conscious is maintaining unlimited consciousness. This philosophy, Achantya Bheda Abhed Tattva Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought us to perfection. So this is all a evolution in philosophy. So the Shankara Acharya, who is Lord Shiva, why he appeared? He had to mislead the monoist, means Advaitwadis, who favor ultimate extension. What is the ultimate extension means? Who want to merge in Brahm. Sayujya, liberation, merging in the Brahm. It means what he said is, there is no difference between Brahm and Jiva. Jiva has designation or upadhi. When you remove the designation, then Jiva merges into the Brahm. And the two words he used is Ghat Akash and Mat Akash. It means an empty glass, there is a space, but the glass is a earthen part. You break the glass, then what is in the glass, it mixes with the rest of the space. This is the philosophy of Advaita. Ghat Akash and Mat Akash. Akash means space. Space in the part, when part is broken, mixes with the rest of the space. So similarly, Jiva, when he is free from the designation, he merges into the Brahm. That is called ultimate extinction. In the conditioned stage of existence, who favor ultimate, all living entities have 4 basic defects. In conditional stage, everybody has 4 defects. Which defect Shankaracharya has used? Cheating propensity. Shankaracharya has used the 4th defect of the conditioned soul, cheating propensity. He cheated the Buddhists. He drove the Buddhists out of the territory of Bharat Khand, not Bharatvarsh. Bharatvarsh is the whole earth surrounded by salty water. And Bharat Khand is this portion presently, more than this what is now. The name India or Hindustan, both are not Vedic. India came from Indus, from Yunnan, and the Hindu or Hindustan came from Iran, Persia. So these two are the name given by the Persians and Greeks. From Indus came India, and from Sindhu become Hindu. But this Bharatvarsh is a original name in a Bhagavatam. The whole planet Earth was called Bharatvarsh and was ruled by Maharaj Bharat, son of Rishabdev. So Buddhism was Shunyavad, and Srila Prabhupada has actually defeated these two philosophies, Shunyavad and Nirvisheshwad. This is what Prabhupada's Pranam mantra is. Shunyavad means Buddhism, and Nirvishesh means monoism or Advaitvad. Nirvishesh means, Nir means no, Vishesh means variety. There is no variety in the spiritual world. It is homogeneous light. This is the meaning of Nirvishesh. Nir means no, Vishesh means any variety. So, Srila Prabhupada writes, so Shankaracharya used the 4th defect, cheating propensity. And what did he do? To the extreme. Cheating propensity to the extreme to mislead monist, means Advaitvad. Monist means everything is Brahm. There is no difference between the living entity and the Atma so Paramatma. This is their another slogan, Atma so Paramatma, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. These are their aphorisms from the Vedas. We accept the same thing, but with a different meaning. I am Brahm means I am soul, I am not material body. Tattvamasi, I am that. That is also right. I am Satchitanand, as Supreme Lord is. But there is a difference between the two. One is infinite, one is infinite Lord, and we are infinitesimal. They are too small. There is only difference. So now the second paragraph says, actually, the explanation of the quadruple form in the Vedic literature cannot be understood by speculation of the conditioned soul. So it means quadruple means spiritual. The four expansion of Balaram ultimately are Nityananda Ram. They cannot be understood by mental speculation, which means at the mental platform we cannot, at intellectual platform we cannot understand this. Even for Hare Krishna mantra, Prabhupada says, it is a transcendental sound vibration. It is beyond body, senses, mind and intellectual. So even Hare Krishna mantra we cannot understand by mental speculation. So how can we understand the name is Hare Krishna mantra and Nami is Krishna, or his expansions. So they cannot be understood by material, mental speculation. But how can they be understood? That it says, the quadruple forms should therefore be accepted just as they are described. The authority of the Veda is such that even if one does not understand something by his limited perception, he should accept the Vedic injection and not create interpretation to suit his imperfect understanding. In the Sarirak Bhashya, however, Shankaracharya has increased the misunderstanding of the monoist. So what Srila Prabhupada is writing that Vedic literature is infallible. You may understand and may not understand, but we should accept it as it is. Like Srila Prabhupada writes in Isha Upanishad, cow dung is pure, Veda says. So we accept it for puja. The bone is impure. If you touch the bone, you have to take bath. But the conch shell you have to blow in the temple, and there is no need, because it is Vedic, and therefore we accept it. But there is no argument. The cow dung is impure. No, it is pure. So bone is impure, but conch shell is pure. So this is Vedic. If you don't understand, but you have to accept it. But if you interpret the Vedic literature to suit your own faulty mental understanding, then you mislead so many people. And Sripad Shankaracharya has done that. Now next, quadruple form have a spiritual existence and can be realized in Vasudev Sattva. Vasudev Sattva, which is called Vishuddha Sattva. And what is actually the word? Vasudeva Shabdyate. What is how it goes? Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabdyate. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabdyate. So that stage which is beyond three modes of material nature, which is uncontaminated goodness, is called Vasudeva. And one who is at that stage can understand Vasudeva. So to understand Vasudeva, one have to come to the stage of Vasudeva. And how can one come to the stage of Vasudeva? Avibicharena bhakti yogena sagunan samataitetana brahma bhuyaya kalpate. By practice of unalloyed devotional service, one will transcend three modes of material nature and come to the Vishuddha Sattva, which is called Brahma stage. Brahma stage means Vishuddha Sattva. Now, what is this Vishuddha Sattva? Unqualified goodness. Means goodness in which there is no trace of passion and ignorance. Pure goodness. We are in goodness now, we are sitting, we are in goodness, even higher goodness. But as soon as we go out and look for our shoes, immediately we'll come to this stage of passion. Where are my shoes? Why somebody has put his shoes on my shoes. So this is mode of passion will come immediately. And if you don't find your shoes, then you will be in a mode of ignorance immediately. What is this temple? There's no arrangement. My shoes are gone. So costly shoes. How much do you cost? 5,000 rupees. Oh my God, take one Bhagavatam set, which also costs same money. No, I have one. So you have shoes of 5,000, but you will not buy Bhagavatam. This is the consciousness of the contaminated people. If the people are on Vishuddha Sattva, then they will be in a line to get Bhagavatam. When I will get my copy. There was a time in ISKCON when the laboraries were wanting and waiting for Prabhupada's set of Bhagavatam coming. Outstanding orders were there, and the book's production, as soon as come out, it was supplied to the libraries. The library party, there was a time. The libraries were already paying and waiting for the new volume to come. So there was a stage. I told a couple of days back, that when Jio SIM was given free, people were in big lines in the morning just to get it worth 100 rupees SIM. They were standing 4 hours in line. The day people will be in line to get Gita and Bhagavatam, that is the time you think you know that people are in Shuddha Sattva. That day will come, then the glories of the Bharat will be old days, when people have that mood. I have not to say you buy it. You say, please, when can my turn comes that I should get my Bhagavatam? And really people will come like that. We will have a shortage of Bhagavatam. We don't have so much sets. Actually speaking, the all people who are visiting every day, and all affords. Everybody has a telephone, and each phone costs minimum 10,000 rupees. And everybody has a phone. Right? And everybody is charging the phone every month, 300 rupees. It means they are affording. But they are under the influence of ignorance and passion. If they are in goodness, they will rush. And Sarang, you cannot supply if they come. You have 1,000 sets? If the people come today and ask for sets, how many you can provide? And you say, come tomorrow, waiting, order. This time, when this system, if we are able to preach and make the people really come to this consciousness, then actually we are preaching. Yeah, people should be really, this is acid. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says, all the Vedic literature, even if burned, only one Bhagavatam is there, then there is no loss. Because everything is in Bhagavatam. Kim parai shastra vistrai. What is the need of other scripture? It contains everything. And Prabhupada wanted every house should have Bhagavatam set. And this is one of the, Vaishnava Shastrani, Yatra Tishtati, wherever there's a Vaishnava scripture like Bhagavatam, Lord is residing there. And Lord is residing there, then Lakshmi is automatically there. Why people don't understand this simple truth? Anyway, so whole idea is people should come to the Shuddha Sattva really. The Bhagavatam is also transcendental. Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. And only the people who are beyond three modes, they can understand. If for a moment, by coming in contact with a personality like Srila Prabhupada, people become, because of reflection of the very exalted soul, person for a while become in a goodness, and he will immediately buy that. This is the devotee. He, by his mercy, actually enlightens some person for some time to be in goodness, then only he can buy, Bhagavatam. Wherever I speak Bhagavatam for a couple of days, the rule is that every day one set at least I should distribute. I keep the one set there and say, this is Krishna. Who is the fortunate person to get this Krishna? And then usually more than 7 set we distributed in each katha. In Gurgaon just we distributed couple set we distributed. Wherever we had a satsang we distributed Bhagavatam. A couple set of Bhagavatam we started. 10, sometimes a minimum like that. So that you have to make people to come to the goodness, to understand quadruple, but to understand Bhagavatam also and Gita also. You have to bring people by your influence to the goodness. But in goodness, people will do this type of work. They cannot, in a patient, they will count how much money I am spending. Goodness is only the stage people can be like charitable. Now, Srila Prabhupada writes, the quadruple form, who are full in 6 opulences of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are the enjoyer of internal potency. So 6 opulences are in a Bhagavan. So they are all Bhagavan. And they are enjoyer of internal potency. Ādi-līlā Shakti Karaye, Krishna Anand Aswadan. This is the internal potency, is to give pleasure to Supreme Lord. Ādi-līlā Shakti Kare Bhaktera Poshan. And by the internal potency, the devotees are nourished. So, same internal potency who is Radharani is with Krishna, and expansion of Radharani is Sita with Ram, expansion of Radharani is Lakshmi with Narayan. So there are the expansion of Radharani. All the Lakshmis of Vaikuntha, all the queens of Dwarka, and all the gopis of Vrindavan are expansion of Radharani. Like all the incarnation are expansion of Vishnu. And that Vishnu is expansion of Balaram. And Balaram is expansion of Krishna. So all the Vishnu Tattva come from Balaram and all the Shakti Tattva come from Radharani. So both expand like that. But what is the function of internal potency? To give enjoyment to the absolute truth. Anand, to give Anand. Now, we are going to the next page. I think this purport should continue for a couple of days because more than 10 pages. Yeah, I think that is better. I can read the whole, but then we can't understand. Next, thinking the absolute Godhead to be poverty-stricken. Am I right? Yes. To be poverty-stricken or to have no poverty, or in other words, to be impotent, is simply rascaldom. What are these? What Prabhupada is writing that? These Mayavadis, they say, Daridhar Narayan. Daridhar means poor. So Narayan is poor. He is a Lakshmipati. Why? How he is poor? Or how he is rich? Or they say he is impotent. It means he cannot create anything. So this is rascaldom. So this is also, this came from Christianity. Already we are envious of God. On the top of that, this monoism, I am also God. And then top of that, Christianity says charity. So we said, yes, everybody is God. This poor is a God. You feed the poor, then Janta Seva, Janardhan Seva. By serving the people, you serve the Supreme Lord. And we say opposite. By serving the Krishna, you serve the whole world. We say just opposite. And they say just opposite. So this is the mixture of so many things has become khichdi. Now, this is what is Hinduism, is a khichdi. The enviousness, which is of the soul's first mistake, and with the atheism and monoism, and on the top of that, this charity, all mixed together as a spice and khichdi, and this khichdi is now everywhere. There's no concept of really true absolute truth. So Prabhupada says, this rascaldom is profession of conditioned soul, and it increases in bewilderment. One who cannot understand the distinction between the spiritual world and material world has no qualification to examine or know the situation of transcendent quadruple form. In his commentary on the Vedanta Sutra 2:242-45, His Holiness Sripad Shankaracharya had made a futile attempt to nullify the existence of these quadruple forms in the spiritual world. The spiritual world has these forms. And commentary of Shankaracharya says there is a spiritual world, there is no form, nirvisesh. There is no any variety. It is all homogeneous light. This is the concept. So he has misled the people that there is no variety in the spiritual world. And what we are teaching is the spiritual world as a variety. Chintamani, Paraksadmaso, there is Surabhi cows, there is a Krishna, there are wish-fulfilling trees. So there is a variety in the spiritual world. Prabhupada used to say in Bhagavad Gita one purport, when we get the information about the European countries or America, how nice facilities are there, then we desire to go there. So when we get the information that the spiritual world is a place where there is no death, there is no disease, why we are not actually interested to go and transfer there? Why we are not interested in that? Because we don't have a knowledge of a spiritual world. That is what this line says. There is no knowledge of the spiritual world because we have only experience of the material world. We have no knowledge. And the whole purpose of the spiritual movement is to give information of the spiritual world. And every moment you can, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj used to say, every moment we can print one book, one newspaper, so much news of a spiritual world is there. Because there's a variety. Nava Yovanam Cha, every time there's a new. Everything is new, every moment. But what is the news in this world is the old things. Same thing, but the new place and new person. And this is what the newspaper is. Same thing, accident. Person is different, place is different, news is same. And what is the value of this news? Hardly 12 hours. On one railway station, the train was stopped for 30 minutes. A person, in last moment he ran down and he purchased newspaper. I asked, why you did not go early? He said, because the note which I had is in two pieces, I put them together. So I just quickly gave him, I said, show me newspaper. It was 10th date and newspaper was of 5th. You cheated that person by wrong note, you got the newspaper 5 days old. That person gave you the newspaper. old one. So what is the value of the 5th date newspaper on 10th? You read that? No, useless. But this Bhagavatam, 5,000 years back, Sukdev Goswami was speaking and King Parikshit, emperor, was listening. And still everybody is listening. It's not getting old. So this is the difference between the news of the modern world and news of the spiritual world, because this is news of the spiritual world. But this is very small news, only of manifest pastime of Supreme Lord. But unmanifest or unlimited. Ādi-līlā is unlimited. And from this Ādi-līlā, from eternal pastime, these are called manifest pastime during the appearance of the Lord. They are only of 100 years, pastime of 125 years. They are very small. The Bhagavatam has the pastime of Supreme Lord, which are, you can say, 1% maybe minimum of unlimited pastime of Supreme Lord. But that can be only understood by the person who reaches to the stage of Vishuddha Sattva. And therefore our Acharya in that stage realized so many other pastimes which are not in Bhagavatam. But they have realized those pastimes. Radharani's, ankle bell falling, and then our Sri Shamanand got that. This pastime is not Bhagavatam. Personal realizations. There are so many. So they are Nitya-līlā every time. So this is only understood by the people who come to that stage. Shankaracharya says that devotees think the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva Krishna, Sri Krishna, to be one, to be free from material qualities, and to have a transcendental body full of bliss and material eternal existence. So Shankaracharya believes that Krishna or Narayana is spiritual, beyond matter. Narayan Paro, this is the one quotation Prabhupada used to say. He is the ultimate goal of the devotees who believe that the Supreme Personality of Godhead expanded himself into four orders, other eternal transcendental form, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. From Vasudeva, who is the primary expansion, comes Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha in that order. Another name of Vasudeva is Paramatma. This is a little confusing what I am reading. Another name of Vasudeva is Paramatma. That is all right. From Vasudeva, whose primary expansion, comes Sankarsana. Okay. Another name of Sankarsana is Jiva. This is a little confusing. Another name of Sankarsana is Jiva. But Sankarsana is not Jiva. Sankarsana expand as Karunakshayi Vishnu, which is containing in his belly the all living entities, total aggregate of jivas. So because he is the reservoir of all jivas, therefore he is called Jiva. He is not Jiva, but he is reservoir of Jiva. They come out of him, and by energy they enter into him. So this is Sankarsana through his Vishnu expansion is the source of all jivas. Therefore he is called Jiva. Up till now it's okay. Now see this. Aniruddha. Oh, where are we? Oh. Okay. Oh, another name of Sankarsana Jiva. Another name of Pradyumna is mind. This is more confusing. Pradyumna is not mind. Pradyumna is the presiding deity of Pradyumna. Pradyumna is the presiding deity of intelligence. It's not mind. He is the presiding deity of intelligence. And see in the fourth one is more confusing. The Aniruddha is the Ahankara or false ego, and we know that Sankarsana is Ahankara. Sankarsana is the presiding deity of Ahankara, not Aniruddha. So these all, so first is okay, the rest three, second is all right in one sense, aggregate of Jiva. But the third and fourth are very difficult to comprehend as it is, because Bhagavatam writes that our inner senses are called Chitta, which Prabhupada writes below heart, and presiding deity of Chitta is Vasudeva. Then Ahankar or false ego, the presiding deity of false ego is Sankarsana, and also the one who worships Sankarsana. Who worships Sankarsana? Rudra, Shiva, is also presiding deity of Ahankar. Then Pradyumna is a presiding deity of intelligence, and Aniruddha is a presiding deity of mind. This is Bhagavatam 4th canto. But here these four words, since yesterday when I read this first time, I'm really quite confused about these four words. It needs really explanation. Among these expansion, Vasudeva is considered the origin of the material nature. Vasudeva is considered the origin of material nature. Actually, Sankarshan is the origin of material nature. What do you think? From Sankarshan came everything. But if we say Paramatma, but he is not that he is the original creator. If we say Vasudeva is Paramatma, Paramatma is not a creator. So, therefore, Shankaracharya say that Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Anuruddha must be creation of the original cause. Creation of the original cause. What it means, that there is a cause and effect, which is in material world. In the spiritual world, there is no cause and effect. So he thinks they are all material. But they are all spiritual. Now Prabhupada writes a little more. Great soul assert the Narayan, who is known as the Paramatma or super soul, is beyond material nature. See, now Narayan is Paramatma. Earlier Vasudeva is Paramatma. So it's quite really, this purport needs a little more elaboration. Okay? Is beyond material nature, and this is in accordance with the statement of the Vedic literature. Mayavadis who agree that Narayan can expand himself in various forms. Shankar says that he does not attempt to argue the portion of the devotee's understanding, but he must protest the idea that Sankarshan is produced from Vasudeva, Pradyumna is produced from Sankarshan, and Anuruddha is produced from Pradyumna. For if Sankarshan is understood to represent the living entities created from the body of Vasudeva, the living entities would have to be non-eternal. If they are created, they are non-eternal. Because creation is non-eternal. Body is created, so it dies, so it is not eternal. So living entities are not created, they are existing. They are eternal. Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So this is Shankar says they are created. Pradyumna is production, okay. The living entities are supposed to be freed from the material contamination by engaging in prolonged temple worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead, reading Vedic literature and performing yoga and pious activities to attain the Supreme Lord. But if the living entities had been created from the material nature at a certain point, they would be non-eternal and would have no chance to be liberated and associated with Supreme Personality of Godhead. When a cause is nullified, its result is nullified. In the second chapter of Vedanta Sutra, the second Khanda, Acharya Veda Vyas has also refuted the conception that the living entities were ever born. Na atma shrutera nitya tvacha tabhyo. Because there is no creation of the living entity, they must be eternal. So now this whole portion is speaking that Narayan is beyond three mode of material nature. But what is created from Narayan, because his creation is material. So the living entities are expansion of the Vasudeva, and Vasudeva expanded the Sankarsana, then these living entities are non-eternal, because they are material. But to refute this, Vedvyas say they are eternal, from another aphorism. So Shankaracharya, so what is written here is, living entities, when they do some worship, then they get free from the contamination, which means designation, and then they become Brahma. This is what Shankaracharya says, by yoga, by knowledge, they will be freed. But if they are material, how they can be freed? So the discussion is, living entities are created or ever existing. 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita says, there are two types of living entities. One is conditioned, one is liberated, but both are eternal. Both are eternal. So living entities are not created at certain time. So this is only about living entities. Shankaracharya says that this is only, we have read 2 pages, and it goes very lengthy, and all these conceptions are quite confusing, really speaking. What is quoted here is Laghu Bhagavat Amrit of Rupa Goswami. So we have to refer to the Laghu Bhagavat Amrit of Rupa Goswami and to the Vedanta Sutra actually of Govind Bhasya of Balde Vidya Bhushan to really understand what Srila Prabhupada has written here. Yesterday I called a couple people to really explain how Aniruddha is ego. We know Sankarsana is the presiding deity of ego, not Aniruddha. How the Pradyumna is mind. The mind is Aniruddha. Aniruddha is the presiding deity of mind. And over the mind, Prabhupada used to say, Chandrama Mansa Jata. The moon is also presiding deity of mind. And Buddhi is Brahma and Pradyumna. These are the 2 for each. Only Vasudeva is 1. For Chit only Vasudeva. So there is a little more clearance needed for this. So this purpose should go for at least 1 month to make things clear. It is a really conception is quite confusing till we get clear idea. Only Sankarsana as Jiva is clear because he is the reservoir of Jiva. But which Jiva? Conditioned soul only. Not liberated soul. Liberated souls are coming under the jurisdiction of Radharani. Internal potency. So what we have learned today is all the second quadruple is spiritual. Though explained by Sripad Shankaracharya as 3 as a material and Vasudeva as a spiritual. And second confusion is that because Jiva come from Vasudeva and because they are production created, it means they are not eternal. They have only designation. You remove the designation, then it becomes Brahma. That is the concept till now we have discussed. But it needs a little more explanation. I end it here. Anybody has any question or comment? There are 2 hands up. Yes?
Krishna says, in the beginning only I was there.
Krishna says?
In the beginning only he existed. Krishna existed. Aham eva samagre. That means that the living entities were created.
What is it? Bhagavad Gita नहीं ये भागवत का पहला अहम एवा साग्रे. This is the Chaturshloki.
Yes.
Bhagavatam first verse.
Yes.
I was alone, then I expanded the whole world, and then again the whole world entered into me and I remain alone. So Krishna is Adi Purusha, and for creation he created Balaram, and Balaram created the material world. This is about the material world. In the spiritual world, Krishna is always with his associates. It's not that the spiritual world is created. It's ever existing. But for creation of material world, Krishna was alone. Then he saw the conditioned soul. They are sleeping in slumber in the abdomen of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So he gave them chance to again be created and come back home back to Godhead. So when the annihilation is there, then only Krishna remains. Everything disappears. What is created, that disappears. The creator remains. The creator remains and created things come and go. So there are 3 principles actually. The body is born and body dies. Body is created and body destroyed. Anything which is created is destroyed. Living entities come and go according to the karma. They are not created, they are not annihilated. They only appear and disappear according to the karma. And Supreme Lord appear and disappear according to His will. So these are the three facts. And this material world is created at a certain time, live for a certain period, then again disappears. So it is not eternal, but is true, because it's connected with Supreme, therefore it is not false. So material world is created and destroyed, body is created and destroyed, soul comes and goes according to his karma, Supreme Lord comes and goes out of His sweet will. This is called Jeev, Jagat and Jagadish. These are the three things of the whole Vedic literature. Jeev, Jagat and Jagadish. Jeev is living entity, Jagat is material world, and Jagadish is Supreme Lord. So this is the explanation of three things. And you know three, you know everything. Yes?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandat Pranam. Satchit Ananda, so Ananda, which is the Ladini Shakti, is Radharani. But Satch and Chit, which is Samvit and Sandini, I was in the impression it's Balram Dahu's territory.
Balram is of Satta. Balram is the presiding deity of Satta.
Eternal.
All existence is under Balaram, both spiritual and material. And Radharani is presiding deity of Anand.
Ladini.
All Anand come from Ladini. And Chit is Vasudev.
Chit is Vasudev. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Dandat.
Presiding deity of Chit is Vasudev.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
So to understand Satchidanand means to understand Radharani, Balaram and Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for your very scholarly class. Before your lecture, I was kind of confused because I heard these two statements: the whole planet is Bharatavarsha, but at the same time I heard India is called Bharatavarsha only. So
Bharat
yes, actually you reconcile these two, and for me actually it's very clear. India is Bharatakanda and the whole planet is Bharatavarsha. Thank you very much. So my question is this. So there is the first Chaturvyuha, from Sankarsana of the first one expands another four. And these four, you explain, comes Balaram. And the first four, which, for example, in Krishna Lila, who they are?
First, so first expansion is in a spiritual world. I mean, that's what in Krishna's planet. That's called. Second is in Dwarka. First is in Golok. First in Golok, from the Vasudeva, the expansion is Narayan, which is in Vaikuntha. From Sankrishna comes the second Chaturvyuha. And Pradyumna and Anuruddha, they also expand. So, but that will be our second Chaturvyuha, after second Chaturvyuha. First Chaturvyuha is in the spiritual world, second Chaturvyuha is in Dwarka.
Oh.
Because Dwarka, I told this is the Chaturvyuha is in Dwarka. First in Golok, second in Dwarka, and second is also in Vaikuntha. Around the fourth side of Narayan, there are Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Anuruddha. This will come in upcoming verses.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Well, it's quite confusing still, really. We don't know a spiritual world, so we just, I think Chaitanya Charitamrita needs to be more understood.
Hare Krishna. Pranam Prabhuji. My question is, you have said like there are two types of entities. One is conditioned soul and other is liberated soul. And they are both eternal. So how we conditioned soul will become liberated?
When we will be free from three modes of material nature, then we will come under the jurisdiction of internal potency. That is a liberation.
So conditioned soul are not eternal, but they can...
They are eternal, but they are conditioned by three modes of material nature. When they will be free from goodness, passion, and ignorance, then they will realize Satchit Anand, which is internal potency, which is their Swarup.
Means they are eternal in existence.
They are eternal in their original position, but they are now having a body which is given by material nature, and body is an influence of three modes of material nature. So as long as there is a material body and material mind, he is contaminated and in a condition. When he is free from the bodily concept and realizes original identity as eternal servant of Krishna, then he is liberated.
Yes, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Chaitanya Chaitamrita ki. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,